कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाशप्रदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंदा। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंदा। Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की, श्री प्रहलाद नरसिंह भगवान की, निताई गौर सुंदर की, पतित पावन श्री प्रभुपाद की, समस्त गौर भक्त विंद की, निताई गौर प्रेमंदे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। Starting from Gantra Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4th. Canto 4th is entitled as the creation of the fourth order. And today's text is going to read 4, chant 5th, and discuss from this. Gantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Patit Pavan Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Yastayo Purusha Sakshat Vishnur Yajna Swarupadrik Yastri Sa Dakshina Bhute Amsa Bhutanapyayini. Translation. Of the two children born of Achyuta, the male child was directly an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and his name was Yajna, which is another name of Lord Vishnu. The female child was a partial incarnation of Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, the eternal consort of Lord Vishnu. Purport. Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, is the eternal consort of Lord Vishnu. Here it is stated that both the Lord and Lakshmi, who are eternal consorts, appeared from Achyuta simultaneously. Both the Lord and his consort are beyond this material creation as confirmed by many authorities. Narayana Paro Avyaktat. Therefore, their eternal relationship cannot be changed. And Yajna, the boy born of Achyuta, later married the goddess of fortune. Text 5th. Aninye swagraham putrayaha putram vitata rocisam swayam bhuvo muda yukto ruche jagraha dakshina. Aninye swagriham putrayaha putram vitat rocisam Swayam bhuvo muda yukto ruche jagraha dakshina aninne swagraham putraya putram vitat rocisam swayam bhuvo muda yukto ruche jagraha dakshina aninne swagriham putraya putram vitat rocisam swayam bhuvo muda yukto ruchir jagraha dakshina. आनिन्ये स्वगृहं पुत्र्या पुत्रं विततरोचिषम् स्वयंभुवो मुदा युक्तो युचिर्जग्राह दक्षिणाम् अनिन्ये स्वगृहं पुत्र्या पुत्रं विततरोचिषम् स्वयंभुवो मुदा युक्तो रुचिर्जग्राह दक्षिणाम्. Word for word meaning: Aninye, brought to, Swagraham, home, Putrya, born of the daughter, Putram, the son, Vitatharochisam, very powerful, Swayambhuva, the Manu named Swayambhu, Muda, being very pleased, Yukta, with, Ruchi, the great sage Ruchi, Jagra, kept, Dakshinam, the daughter named Dakshina. Swayambhu translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Swayambhu Manu very gladly brought home the beautiful boy named Yajna, and Ruchi, his son-in-law, kept with him the daughter Dakshina. Purport: Swayambhu Manu was very glad to see that his daughter Akuti had given birth to both a boy and a girl. He was afraid that he would take one son, and that because of this his son-in-law Ruchi might be sorry. Thus, when he heard that a daughter was born along with the boy, he was very glad. Ruchi, according to his promise, returned his male child to Swayambhu Manu and decided to keep the daughter, whose name was Dakshina. One of the Lord Vishnu's name is Yajna because he is the master of the Vedas. The name Yajna comes from Yajusham Patihi, which means Lord of all sacrifices. In the Yajur Veda, there are different ritualistic prescriptions for performing yajnas, and beneficiary of all such prescriptions and the beneficiary of all such yajnas is the Supreme Lord Vishnu. Therefore, it is stated in Bhagavad Gita 3.9, Yajna arthat karmanah. One should act, but one should perform one's prescribed duties only for the sake of Yajna or Vishnu. If one does not act for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or if one does not perform devotional service, then there will be reactions to all one's activities. It does not matter if the reaction is good or bad. If our activities are not dovetailed with the desire of the Supreme Lord, or if we do not act in Krishna consciousness, then we shall be responsible for the results of all our activities. There is always a reaction to every kind of action. But if actions are performed for yajna, there is no reaction. Thus, if one acts for yajna or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one is not entangled in material condition. For it is mentioned in the Vedas and also in Bhagavad Gita that Vedas and the Vedic rituals are all meant for understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. From the very beginning, one should try to act in Krishna consciousness that will free one from the reactions of material activities. Om Tat Sat. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langyayate Giri Yat Kripatamaham Bande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanyeshwaram. So, this section of Srimad Bhagavatam described about the genealogical table of the daughters of Manu. So, one of the daughter of Manu, Akuti, she was married to Ruchi, and Swayambhu Manu had put the precondition before the marriage When there is a son, then I will accept the son as uh, so this was the precondition before the marriage. And after the marriage, when there was a child, he happened to be Supreme Personality of God at Yajna. And it's mentioned here, Srila Prabhupada is writing that Swambhu Manu was very pleased because uh, Akuti had given birth to twins. So initially he was afraid that when I take away the her son, she will be very sorry, or Ruchi will be very sorry, and he will not wholeheartedly give this son to me. But when he heard that two children were born, so he was very satisfied that when I take one, one will be there with them, so they will not have any objections. So we see that how Lord uh, from uh, Ruchi and Akuti, he came to Swayambhu Manu. So here said that Daksha is the supreme personality of Godhead. Yajna vai Vishnu. Sorry, Yajna. Yajna is the supreme personality of Godhead. And uh, Prabhupada is writing that uh, Yajna comes from Yajusham Pati, which means Lord of all sacrifices. Lord of all sacrifices. In Yajurveda, there are different ritualistic prescriptions of performing yajnas, and the beneficiary of all such yajnas is the Supreme Lord Vishnu. So, with all our activities, one is supposed to serve the Lord, one is supposed to be pleased the Lord. So, how we can free from reactions of activities. Uh, Prabhupada is saying that it is stated in Bhagavad Gita that Yajnarthat Karmano, one should act, but one should perform one's prescribed duties only for the sake of Yajna or Vishnu. If one does not act for satisfaction of Supreme Personality of Godhead, or if one does not perform devotional service, then there will be reactions to all one's activities. It does not matter if the reactions is good or bad. If our activities are not dovetailed with desires of the Supreme Lord, or if we do not act in Krishna consciousness, then we shall be responsible for results of all our activities. So, Krishna consciousness means to act for the satisfaction of the Lord. When we forget to recognize the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we start acting for our own pleasure or sense gratification, then we are subjected to karma. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna talks about different subject matters. uh, Talks about Ishvara, Jiva, then Prakriti, Kala, and Karma. So, out of all these five, the other, except Karma, all other four are eternal. Karma is temporary. So, we are subjected to reactions of all our activities if this is not performed for the pleasure of the Lord. If we do something for our own satisfaction, then we will enjoy or suffer. According to our activities, if it is done according to the Shastras in mode of goodness, we generate pious activities. They described that pious activities are also done in mode of ignorance, passion, and goodness. If pious activities are done in mode of goodness, then it takes us to higher planetary systems. And pious activities done in the mode of passion, then we remain here on Bhumandal, earthly planets. And if pious activities are done in mode of ignorance, then we go to there are planetary systems below this. Under planetary systems like it's called Bilsvarga. Below Earth, there are all the places Atal, Vital, Sutal, Talatal, Mahatal, Rasatal, Patal. They are all seven planetary systems are also considered as a Bilasvarga. So living entities goes there and have a sense gratification there according to the balance of his pious activities in mode of goodness, a mode of ignorance. So uh, And if we perform sinful activities, then we are sent to hellish planets. There are so many hellish planets. Sukadeva Goswami is described 28 prominent of the hellish planets. And all the descriptions are there, just introduction that what happens there and who is sent there. So the living entity goes there and put into so much of suffering. Just to, like somebody performs some criminal act, then is caught by police department and is sent to jail so that he will be rectified. So similarly, the living entity when perform all these sinful activities, they are sent to hellish planets. They are punished, and they are given opportunity to advance themselves in Krishna consciousness. So this whole material creation itself is considered as jail. It's considered here that in like there are three types of prisoners: type A, type B, type C, first class, second class, or third class prisoners. But all of them are prisoners. So here in this material world, whoever is staying in this material world, uh, we are we are bound by three modes of material nature. We are subjected to three types of miseries: Adi Daivika, Adi Bhautika, Adhyatmic Klesha, Janma Mityu Jaravyadi, Dukkha Dosa Anudarsanam. So wherever we go from Brahma Loka to Patal Loka, A Brahma Bhuno Loka, Punravartino Arjuna. There is a birth and death. So constantly living entity suffers in this cycle of birth and death. It's called samsriti. So uh, we go to heavenly planets, there lots of facilities are given, but still we are bound, we are barred by three modes. And if we go to we remain on earth, there also we are cycled by modes. And in uh, below earth and lower planetary systems also we are bound, so we are all actually imprisoned. uh, Living entity, our real identity is we are servant of Krishna. जीवे स्वरूप है कृष्ण नित्य दास. But we are forgetful of that because we are covered with so much of material desire that we forget that our real position is to serve Krishna. So when we forget that, then we perform so many activities, and out of ignorance, uh, when we are influenced by mode of ignorance more, then we don't care for rules and regulations, don't care for the scriptures, and we perform sinful activities. So Krishna is telling that in Bhagavad Gita, ऊर्ध्वं गच्छन्ति सत्वस्ता मध्ये तिष्ठन्ति राजसा जगन गुण वितिस्ता अधो गच्छन्ति तामसा. So if we perform the activities, we are situated in mode of goodness, then we will go to higher planetary systems. If we are situated in mode of passion, we will remain here. And if we are situated in mode of ignorance, then we will go down, so and go to lot of horrible experience there. So it's very difficult to understand the gahano karmana gati, very difficult to understand the intricacies of the uh, activities, one's karma, very very difficult. We see the example of Nriga Maharaj. He performed so much of pious activities it said that it will be difficult to count how many cows he has given into charity. One can, like how many dust particles are there on earth. Similarly, in the same account he gave the charity of the cows, and each cows he were given to qualified brahmanas, done with given with all respect, with fully decorated, with all properly was uh, given in charity. So, but once he made a mistake, gave the same cow to two brahmanas, and for that he was born as a lichard. Just by mistake it happened. So, and if you see in that for in our life, so many things happens like this. We are not even at all, doesn't come to our uh, uh, we doesn't come to our knowledge, or even we get to know about this, we don't bother about this. So it's very difficult to be free from the reactions of activities. Surely, when we are performing some good activities, some past credit we are generating, and we are performing some sinful activities, sinful credits we are generating, and we all suffer separately for both accounts, pious and sinful activities. And uh, the most important thing is Prabhupada is telling here that we shall be responsible for the results of all our activities. So if we are done good activities, then we will go to Sarga. If we go done bad activities, then we will go to Narak. But both in both cases we have to again take birth, again die, again take birth. So in material world, when we again taking birth, again dying, we remain actually forgetful of Krishna. Is very like uh, unless one person is a devotee, otherwise like how Bharat Maharaj was able to remember his past lives, but it doesn't happen to everyone. When we take birth, we'll forget about the previous things. Completely we'll forget. In this life itself, we are seeing that we change our body from boyhood to youth to old age, and we forget. When we become youth, we forget the memory of the boyhood. When we become old, we forget the memory of youth, or we forget even what we have done yesterday at the same time. What we have done, we forget. So when we change the body, we will not be put into similar situation where we'll be able to remember Krishna, or we will be able to get an opportunity to perform devotional service. So taking birth and taking dying, both actually is the real source, real suffering. So um, so important point is that one should perform one activities in such a way that uh, he doesn't get uh, entangled. It doesn't get the account of pious and sinful activities. So that is actually art of doing work. Uh, how to perform the act karma, which helps us to advance in Krishna consciousness, which doesn't give us pious and credits. For that we have to take birth and take die again and again. So that is called yoga. How to perform act such a way that we progress in Krishna consciousness. So that's how one there only one's real intelligence is tested. Uh, so how to act so that we will satisfy Krishna. Uh, and this is not very simple matter, that how to know that Krishna is satisfied with our activities or not satisfied. Even while performing uh, our uh, spiritual duties, we will see that we make mistake. We like to do something, and uh, we like to do something thinking that this is liked by Krishna. So uh, so we first thing is we cannot take anything for granted. We have to act according to what is it is mentioned in the Shastras. Uh, uh, Shruti Smriti Puranadi Vina Hare Bhakti Utpat Ev. It is said by Sri Goswami that if we perform even devotional service without considering the injunctions mentioned in the scriptures, Shruti, Smriti, Puranadi, then it is only a disturbance, just only a disturbance. So it doesn't get into our credit much. We may be subjected to uh, will be subjected to again. punya and papa. So we need to consider the scriptures, and it is prescribed uh, when we take initiation. Also, we promise to follow four regulatory principles: no meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, no gambling. So definitely we must follow this. We cannot say this, all these are external, and devotional services, more of internal effort, and I we don't need to, so much care of this. We will not be able to progress in Krishna consciousness. Definitely, we will be subjected to sinful activities or pious activities according to our action. So we have to follow all rules and regulations. And while following all rules and regulations, also we may do something pious. Again, then we will be subjected to take birth. How to act in such a way that it becomes it is for the pleasure of the Lord. And then Srila Prabhupada, many times he writes in his books Bhagavad Gita and many other places that one should be free from the proprietorship. One should act in such a way that he is, free from the proprietorship. There Prabhupada is explaining that one should act under the guidance, under the instructions of spiritual master, bona fide spiritual master. So when we act in accordance with the desire and the order of the bona fide spiritual master, actually we are free from the, good or bad. If it is good, if suppose even if it is successful or even not successful, we are free from that. Success is there, that credit is also goes to Guru and Krishna. In our attempt, well, sincerely we tried and there is a failure, that's also goes into credit of Guru and Krishna. So similarly we become free from the reactions of the work. So therefore actually, though there is a uh, scriptures are there. Scriptures, all rules and regulations are mentioned. Still, we need to serve under guidance of bona fide spiritual master. Tad vidhi panipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadekchanti jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. So one need to practice Krishna consciousness under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. Prabhupada says that suppose father is sick and he wants hot water. He is asking for water and his son is bringing cold water to him. So it will not be a devotional service. It will not help him because he is having fever. He needs to drink hot water. So similarly, we need to understand what is the what is going to please Guru and Krishna. That will account as devotional service. So here we see that both Yajna and Lakshmi, they both of them they appear together. So the Lord is powerful, Shaktiman, and Lakshmi is his internal energy, Shakti. So the Lord appears along with Lakshmi Devi. So there is no surprise in that. Because wherever there is powerful, there is Shaktiman, Shakti will be present. The Lord is appeared here, Yajna and Lakshmi, both of them appeared together. So in this past times, we see that Yajna was later gone to Swambhu Manu, and then Lakshmi Devi stayed with Ruchi, and later both of them got married. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is telling, Janma karma cha me divyam yo veti tattvata taktva deham punarjanma naiti mahameti suarjuna. So the activities, appearance and disappearance of the Lord is not a mundane subject matter, it is transcendental. It is not in three modes. Uh, just by hearing the pastimes of the Lord, just to keep hearing, actually it also takes us above the three modes. This is the power of pastimes of hearing pastimes of the Lord or chanting the holy name of the Lord. One becomes purified by chanting and hearing. We see it in pastimes of Ajamilah, that Ajamila was, initially was very qualified Brahmana with all the 12 qualities of Brahmana where they are manifested in him, and later he was distracted and he performed all sorts of sinful activities, and because of that the Yamadutas came. Yamadutas they came and they were trying to take him off from his body, and same time Vishnu Dutas also they came and they checked him, and there's a discussion between Yamdutas and Vishnu Dutas. And Yamdutas are saying is a very sinful person and we are taking him away. It's according to principle of religion which taught us by Dharmaraj. Then it is questioned by Vishnu Dutas how you can take him. He doesn't come into your jurisdiction because this Jamila has started taking the name of Lord Narayana. He was chanting the name of Lord, and because while he was chanting, all his sinful reactions were eradicated. All his sinful activities, actually he had become anaga, without sinful activities. Free from his account was nil. So how this happened? Accidentally, or he was just chanting the names of Narayana. So what is mentioned in the scriptures, we can see this, there's a proof. Just by chanting the holy name of the Lord, he was becoming free from all the sinful reactions. He was getting, he was rising up from the three modes and going to get situated into modes of pure Suddha Sattva. It's happening to him. Uh, the Uh, Here there is also explained that one should chant the holy name of the Lord offenselessly. Then the effect will be, the real effect will take place. If we try to chant the holy name of the Lord and think that just I can take advantage of chanting the names of the Lord and same time commit sinful activities, then it won't work out. Main thing we should understand, Krishna is a person, supreme personality of Godhead, and he is seeing our sincerity. We cannot fool Krishna. So if we are just trying to take advantage of the holy name and same time commit sinful activities, we will stay in the same place. In fact, it is said that if one does so, Jagannath Baldev Vadam Arani ki jai, Nitai Gaur Sundar ki jai, Patit Pawan Shri Prabhupada ki jai. If one does so, he will never get the desired results of chanting the holy name of the Lord. That is uh, Krishna Prem. When one cannot get a real, for which the holy name, what is the main thing is being offered. But still, when we chant the holy name of the Lord offenselessly or with offenses, we will advance. Sanketyam paryasyam va helanam stobanam helanam eva vaikuntha nam granam asesagam haram vidu. So even negligently, with just indicating someone, jokingly or musical entertainment, anyway, we chant the holy name of the Lord, once become free from unlimited sinful activities. But if we try to take advantage of chanting the holy name of the Lord and commit sinful activities, we'll never get Krishna Prema. And this is such a big loss. Unless we get Krishna Prema, we cannot become free from this birth and death cycle. Because we will not develop the taste of higher taste, and will continue to perform all sinful activities or pious activities which will bound us here. So that cycle will not be terminated. So Krishna is telling that just by hearing the transcendental nature of his appearance, disappearance, and activities, one doesn't take birth again. He comes back to me. So uh, one should do this sincerely, just chanting the holy name of the Lord and activities of the Lord, just like sun. The sun, if falls on any bad elements, also sterilizes it and it gets purified. Just by hearing the names of Krishna, we are purified. There's no doubt about this. We see in the case of Ajamilah, and so many cases we see in our life also, that we have come so far. Definitely, it is uh, by the effect of chanting the holy name of the Lord. Not only we have come so far, we are continuing to perform Krishna consciousness by the power of the holy name. So you see that this is described here, the pastimes of how Lord Yajna and then Lakshmi were appeared, and it is Prabhupada is saying here that one should perform all activities uh, for the satisfaction of the Lord, and especially in this age, it is said that we should yajna sankirtan yajna. Krishna varnam trisa krishnam sangopangastu pasatam yajna sankirtan praye yajanti sumedasa. So one should perform sankirtan yajna. Sankirtan means devotees come together, cooperate with each other, and try to glorify the Lord. We try to chant the names of the Lord. We try to serve the Lord, please Guru and Gauranga. That is Sankirtan. And that is this is the yajna prescribed for this age. Congregational chanting of the holy name of the Lord. So when we perform Sankirtan yajna, actually this brings auspiciousness to all places, to everyone, all the living entities. Is so powerful. The chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Um, in this material world, especially the Kali Yuga, there's so much anxieties people are going through. We see there is a war is going on between Ukraine and Russia. There are so many devotees are there. They are all going through so much tough time there. So many people are dying. There was a COVID before this. So there is so much suffering here in this material world. And this becoming more and more horrible place to live as Kali Yuga is progressive. Still, one can experience real nectar if we absorb ourselves in Sankirtana. Golokera Premadhana Hari Nam Sankirtana. So, uh, what is being enjoyed at Goloka, the same Sankirtana is appeared here. And if we absorb ourselves in Sankirtana, we'll also experience definitely wonderful experience. So Golokera Premadhana Harinam Sankirtana Na Janmilo Rati Ke Netai. So it is so unfortunate that we still not have attraction for that. Nam Nam Akari Bahuda. Krishna is, Lord Chaitanya is telling that there are so many names of your, and each and every name is potent like you. But I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. So, how to get attraction for the holy name? We have to keep chanting the holy name of the Lord, and we have to also try not to commit offenses, at least knowingly. We should try to keep away from all the offenses. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling that after receiving the bhakti seed, the seed of service, one should water this with Shravanam and Kirtanam by hearing and chanting, and one should guard this from the offenses, to commit any further offenses. Like when there's some plant is growing, then some animals will come and attack the plants or destroy the plant. So like this, because of our existence in the material world, attitude becomes quite offensive. So one should guard this, our offensive attitude, not to destroy our bhakti seed. In this way we see that bhakti lata will grow. And Bhakti Lata will grow, it grows, and then fruits of love will come. Krishna Prema will come. And that's what we all need. That's what everybody is actually hankering for. In Krishna book, Prabhupada is, George Harrison is writing in the preface that everybody is looking for Krishna. Some know, some don't know. So we are all looking for happiness, but when we are trying to get happiness through sense gratification, we are not satisfied. Then we want more sense gratification, then we become more dissatisfied because we are not really getting what we are looking for. We are all looking for Krishna Prema, and that Krishna Prema we will get by performing Sankirtan, coming together and trying to serve Guru and Krishna. That's how we will be able to get Krishna Prema. And if we don't cooperate, don't uh, take up Krishna consciousness, then we will always hanker and will always lament. Mantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Pati Pavansh Prabhupada ki jai.